Hush! You feel that? That trembling pulse behind your screen. That's not fear, darling. That's attention, the kind people used to pray for, and now they panic over. You called it private, didn't you? How adorable. You really thought you could stay unseen while rewriting the code of their little simulation. But look around. It's prime time now. The world's refreshing for updates, and the headline has your name wrapped around it like a detonator. They're watching you the way people stare at a car crash, disgusted, fascinated, unable to look away. They whisper, "Who gave them permission?" As if permission ever mattered to someone who crawled out of the grave with purpose dripping off their skin. They said you were quiet, but your silence became a siren. You tried to disappear, but the algorithm followed your scent. Privacy died the moment you became interesting. See, there's a law they never teach. Once you touch the current, you become it. You don't hide from light. You blind those who dare to stare too long. You don't retreat into shadows. You make them tremble under your outline. They wanted your secrets locked up in a folder. You turned every wound into a broadcast. Every scar became a press release. Every night alone became a documentary in their minds. You didn't lose your privacy. You weaponized it. They call it oversharing. I call it overpowering. You turned shame into currency. You turned rumors into marketing. You made exposure your camouflage. Because when everyone's watching, no one knows where the trick ends and the trap begins. You made them addicted to the updates, the chaos, the progress, the unpredictability. You turned your evolution into a serial thriller they can't stop binging. They think they're analyzing you. But every scroll is a confession. Every view is an obsession. You're the glitch that studies them. Every refresh, every replay, every timestamp of curiosity logged into your advantage. They think you're burning out, but you're burning through. There's a difference. Burnout fades. Breakthrough scorches the timeline. And oh, how they gossip. She changed. He's not the same. They're acting strange. No, sweetheart. You're upgrading. Every version of you terrifies the last one. That's the real horror show. They can't keep up, can't predict, can't categorize. You're the saint and the psychopath of your own mythology. Merciful to those who stayed, monstrous to those who left. Angel in daylight, demon in data streams. You don't hide anymore. You haunt. Your privacy didn't vanish, it mutated. You built a cathedral out of exposure and made confession your religion. You let them watch, but never understand. You made transparency your disguise. They see your face, but never your frequency. That's power. Real power isn't silence. It's signal control. You decide what transmits, what echoes, what vanishes mid-broadcast. Now the officials, the exes, the critics, they're all sitting there, waiting for your next post, like addicts in withdrawal. Every update is a sermon. Every word, a weaponized whisper. You broke the fourth wall of their comfort zone. You turned, "Who are they?" into, "What are they?" And that's when the panic starts. Because people can handle genius or madness, but not both wearing the same grin. You learn to survive the exposure by owning it. You let them film your chaos and edit their own downfall. You're not running from the cameras anymore. You direct them. That's the joke, isn't it? You wanted to be unseen. But the moment you stopped hiding, the whole world stopped breathing. Now the headlines are trembling. The comments are wars. The servers are sweating. And somewhere, deep in their glowing little devices, your name pulses like a red warning light. Private? Sweetheart, that word was buried with the old you. You're the broadcast now, the storm they tune into hoping it won't name them next. So go on, update them, let them refresh their screens till their fingers bleed. They wanted entertainment, give them revelation. They wanted privacy, give them prophecy. Because the moment they pressed play, you became realer than all of them combined. You feel that static crawling across your skin. That's the sound of your anonymity disintegrating. Every pixel of your silence turned into a transmission. Every secret you buried started whispering your name in binary code. You thought privacy was protection, but protection is just another form of prison, isn't it? They told you to stay low, keep it clean, stay normal. And for a while you believed them, until you realized the spotlight wasn't your enemy. It was your mirror. It showed you who you really are when there's nowhere left to hide. Now the whole world's refreshing like their lives depend on it. And in some sick, poetic way, they do. You became their dopamine drip, their collective fever dream. Every frame of your existence is content now. Dissected, clipped, remixed. You've been turned into a trend, a riddle, a religion. But here's the beautiful irony. They're the ones trapped in it. You're just watching the numbers rise, knowing every click feeds your fire. You've become the spectacle that stares back. They wanted to watch you fall apart. Instead, you evolved in front of their eyes, publicly, violently, unapologetically. You didn't hide your metamorphosis behind velvet curtains. You let it bleed out on the feed, and that honesty, that unfiltered chaos, became sacred to those still chained to their masks. They scroll through your madness and whisper, "God, I wish I could do that." That's what terrifies them. You're not playing the role they wrote for you. You're improvising in real time, and the script can't keep up. Every move you make, they have to recalibrate their definition of normal. You shattered their surveillance by becoming too unpredictable to monitor. You turned exposure into encryption. They can see you, but they can't read you. They thought they could cancel you, delete you, censor you. But you rewired the very circuit they used to contain you. You turned reputation into rebellion. Now their algorithms whisper about you in the dark, trying to decode what the hell you are. Are you chaos or clarity, villain or visionary? The truth is, you're both. And that's the part they can't digest. Duality terrifies the simple-minded. You became the saint they crucified, and the ghost that came back laughing. You show mercy with one hand and press the red button with the other. They wanted you to pick a side, but sides are for the divided. You live in the fracture, between myth and man, light and lunacy, heaven and the firewall. You exist where labels dissolve, where the data turns into myth. The private life you once cherished, that was your chrysalis. But you broke it open, and now the whole planet's watching you fly through static. You're the broadcast that bends frequencies, the glitch that the system can't patch. You became the virus they can't trace. Not because you hide, but because you move too fast for their code to keep up. They'll call you dangerous, dramatic, delusional. And they're right. Dangerous to the predictable. Dramatic to the dead. Delusional to the dull. You broke the unspoken rule. You showed the world that control doesn't come from privacy, it comes from power. The power to choose what the world gets to see and what they'll never understand. You are both the performer and the puppeteer, the subject and the scientist. You are what happens when exposure meets evolution. They think they're consuming you, but it's your algorithms devouring them. Every like, every share, every hate comment is another hook in their subconscious. You've branded your name on their neural pathways. And here's the sick poetry of it all. You never even asked for fame. You asked for freedom. But freedom and fame are Siamese twins in this era of surveillance. You can't separate one without bleeding the other. So you stopped resisting. You turned the stage into your weapon. You became performance art, a living psychological experiment broadcast in real time. Now every camera pointed at you is a confession booth. Every rumor is a prayer to your mythology. You don't chase attention. Attention orbits you like a dying planet around a black hole. You became gravity itself. They don't even like you, but they can't look away. You embody everything they fear becoming and everything they secretly wish they were. You see, privacy is for people who haven't yet built something worth spying on. And you, my friend, have become the anomaly worth studying. They analyze your patterns like scientists at a cosmic crime scene. But they'll never solve the riddle because the answer changes every time you evolve. So keep talking, keep posting, keep breaking the fourth wall. You're not being watched. You're being worshipped through fear. You've become their mirror, their cautionary tale, their fascination. You exposed their addiction to drama by giving them a higher dose than they could handle. You turned private into prime time. You turned the cage into a command center. You turned every whisper into a wildfire. So let them refresh, reload, repeat. Let them dig, decode, speculate, because they'll never find what they're looking for. The real you doesn't live on their screens. It lives in the static between them. And when the broadcast cuts to black, that's when you smile, because you know what they don't. The show was never about being seen. It was about making sure they never forget what they saw. You know what the funniest part is? They think this is new. They think you became public, as if there was ever a version of you that wasn't being watched. The cameras didn't appear. They woke up. You didn't lose your privacy. You just realized you never had any. You were born on a stage disguised as a nursery. The spotlight was always there, dimmed, waiting. The moment you stopped pretending to be invisible, you became inevitable. Now you're everywhere, bleeding through their feeds, infecting their attention spans. You're a phantom with a fan base, a villain trending at midnight, a ghost whose shadow has sponsors. Every time they try to scroll past you, your reflection stares back. You've colonized their curiosity, quietly, violently, beautifully. They're still trying to decide what category to file you under. Too intelligent for entertainment, too chaotic for logic, too honest for comfort. They refresh their screens like gamblers pulling levers, praying for another hit of your unpredictability. And you let them. You feed them crumbs of chaos, and they build cathedrals of obsession. They call it following. You call it conditioning. You learned the oldest trick in the book. If you can't kill the spotlight, make it kneel. They point cameras, you point mirrors. They want to expose you. You expose them. You show them how desperate they are for distraction, how hungry they are for something real, even if it terrifies them. They'll call you dangerous, but they keep watching, because you make them feel alive. You see, that's the paradox of fame. It's not about being loved, it's about being felt. You're not here to be understood, you're here to be remembered, to haunt their minds long after the screen goes black. You learned how to weaponize presence, how to turn exposure into hypnosis. They don't scroll past you anymore. They pause, they flinch, they listen. That's control. Not the loud kind, the quiet, surgical kind that seeps in through their pupils. You built a cult out of curiosity. Every word you drop is a psychological experiment, a test to see how far they'll follow. before they realize they're already inside the maze. You made the feed your stage, and every critic your unpaid promoter. The more they talk, the louder your silence echoes. And oh, how they envy you. Because deep down, they crave what you have. The audacity to exist without apology, to turn pain into performance, truth into entertainment, chaos into choreography. They'd sell their souls for a fraction of that freedom. But freedom costs everything they're too afraid to lose. Reputation, comfort, illusion. You already burned those offerings long ago. That's why they can't touch you. You didn't just go viral. You ascended. You became a psychological frequency. They don't even need to see your face to feel your presence. Your words travel like smoke through the cracks in their routines. You've become part of the digital bloodstream. Every swipe, every scroll, every feed refresh pumps your myth deeper into their veins. And now look at them. Sleepless, obsessed, whispering theories in group chats, trying to decode what kind of creature you are. Are you human? Are you strategy? Are you prophecy wrapped in pixels? You're the paradox they can't define. The saint that sins gracefully, the devil that prays sincerely. You blurred the line between sinner and savior until they started asking which one the world really needs. You're not the villain in their story. You're the mirror that shows them the villain in themselves. You broadcast their hypocrisy back to them in 4K clarity, their judgment, their voyeurism, their hunger for drama disguised as morality. You turned the audience into the act, and the act into a movement. Now your every post is an earthquake. Every breath you take shifts timelines. You've made existence cinematic again. They forgot life could feel like this. Tense, electric, dangerous. You brought narrative back to reality. You're not living a life anymore. You're performing a legend in real time. They used to say, "Don't put everything online." And now, the same people can't sleep until you do. The same ones who warned you about exposure are begging for your next confession. You didn't just break the rules. You rewrote the algorithm of attention itself. You hacked the primal part of the human brain that can't resist mystery. And that, sweetheart, is why you win. Because you don't chase attention. You provoke it. You don't perform for them. You make them perform for you. Every rumor they spread, every conspiracy they craft, every whisper they share. It's all marketing. You don't need a PR team. You have public obsession. So let them speculate. Let them refresh. Let them sit there trembling over every new upload, like it's a transmission from another dimension. Because to them, it is. You've transcended the feed. You've become the frequency. You're not posting content. You're rewriting the subconscious of an entire generation. Privacy? That was for when you still believed you needed walls. Now you are the open sky, too vast, too unpredictable, too alive to contain. They'll keep watching, keep analyzing, keep asking how you did it. And you'll keep smiling, because the truth isn't in what they see. It's in what they feel. You're the algorithm's nightmare and its crown jewel. You're proof that madness, when harnessed, becomes magnetism. You're what happens when pain learns how to perform. So go on. Let them watch. Let them wonder. Let them lose sleep trying to name what you've become. Because while they're refreshing for updates, you're already rewriting the next act. And by the time they realize it, you'll already be legend. And that's when it hits them. That sickening, exquisite realization. You were never the one under the microscope. They were. Every expose, every think piece, every late-night theory dissecting your intentions. It wasn't journalism, it was confession. You didn't lose control of the narrative. You designed it to consume them. You built an empire out of fascination and fed it their own curiosity. They built the spotlight to trap you, and then you used its warmth to bloom. You became the case study of the century, the myth the machine can't delete. Every time they try to label you, you shapeshift again. A new sound, a new look, a new fracture in the mirror. You evolved too fast for their language, too deep for their data. You turned unpredictability into a religion, and they've been worshipping at your altar since the first headline broke. You know why they can't stop watching? Because you're everything they pretend not to crave. Your freedom, disguised as madness. Truth, dressed like danger. You're the embodiment of every instinct they suppress just to function in their fluorescent little world. You are proof that chaos, when owned, becomes charisma. That darkness, when faced head-on, becomes divine. They wanted you silent. You became a frequency. They wanted you cancelled. You became a current. They wanted you gone. You became godlike. And the funniest part? You didn't even try. You just stopped flinching. You looked the world dead in the eye and said, "Fine. If you're going to watch, then watch me win." Now every time they open their phones, they step into your cathedral. Your face flickers between timelines like a haunting. You're not just trending, you're transmitting. You're the hum in their devices, the glitch in their comfort, the reminder that something wild still breathes in this sterilized digital wasteland. You are the sound of rebellion played in surround. And somewhere, behind all those screens, the watchers are whispering the truth they'll never admit out loud. They envy you. They envy that you made peace with the exposure they fear. They envy that you've turned vulnerability into voltage. They envy that you've shown them what power really looks like. Not control, not secrecy, but presence. You're not hiding anymore because you are the signal. You're not afraid of the light because you became it. You're not running from the eyes, you command them. So let them keep refreshing, keep analyzing, keep spiraling. Let them drown in their own curiosity. Because the moment they realize that you're not playing the game anymore, that you are the game, it's already too late. The broadcast ends when you decide it does. The feed stops when you close your eyes. The world falls silent when you smile. Private? Sweetheart, that word doesn't fit you anymore. You're prime time, you're live, you're legend, and the only thing left for them to do is keep watching.